Hello, I am Salik. Today I will be demoing Radar, which is a planning assistant software developed by Yochan Labs. So let us go and start.
Hi, I am Radar. How may I help you today? You can start by selecting a goal that you want to achieve.
In this panel, we can select the kind of goal we want to achieve. In our case, we will be trying to achieve a goal in which there is a big fire happening at the Brickyard Engineering Building in Tempe, Arizona, and the commander is trying to actually stop the fire. If you change the goal and press the update goal button, it will update the goal and correspondingly display the landmarks that are required to achieve this goal. In planning literature, landmarks are essentially those. So there can be action and state landmarks. Essentially, they are certain things that you have to be able to form a successful plan in this case. So for example, if you want to extinguish a big fire at BYENG, you need to have big engines. Okay, so let's say we take out the big engine. Let's see what Radar can do for us.
I believe you are in a state from where the goal cannot be achieved. Fortunately, I have a suggestion for you.
So Radar has found out that we cannot reach the goal from this initial state, and similar to the process of excuse generation, it has also given us some help on how we can convert our present state into a state from which we can achieve something. So if you hover over this exclamation mark, you will see that it is suggesting you can get big engines at the admin fire station, which is here. Obviously we can get it at other places as well, but we will take Radar's suggestion and get it here.
The resource was successfully updated.
So now, since this initial state can yield a plan, Radar is actually giving you the landmarks, which it wasn't giving you in the previous page. Here I have formed a small little plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to validate that the small little plan that I formed so far, obviously it does not achieve the goal of extinguishing the big fire, but let's see if the plan that I'm formulating is valid at all. So I call validate.
I validated the plan for you. If the plan appears in green, you are good to go. Otherwise, if you see a red action, hover over it to see the reason it is invalid.
So essentially this red action is invalid for the plan in context. This is essentially generated by val, and if we hover over the exclamation mark, it says that the precondition that you have to inform the admin fire has to be true before you can execute this action. So essentially, if this action is executed here, then this validation error would essentially go away. But obviously that might create problems, so you can actually change the ordering of actions here or insert a new one here, but I'll just change the order for simplicity and call validate once again.
I validated the plan for you. If the plan appears in green, you are good to go. Otherwise, if you see a red action, hover over it to see the reason it is invalid.
So now we see that deploying helicopters has an error, and the reason is the same, that before deploying helicopters you again have to alert the person in charge for deploying the helicopters. We can add an action, but let's do something else. Let's actually ask Radar to fix my plan rather than me trying to add an action.
I corrected the invalid plan. It should work like a charm now.
So as you can see, Radar has added alert to the Medichief at admin fire for this plan to be executed properly. And now let us say we want to keep on completing the plan. We can ask Radar to suggest a complete plan to us.
Here is a plan that will help you achieve your goal. I am secretly praying you like it.
So the yellow actions are the actions that Radar has added, and the green actions are the ones which we had actually made. So as you can see here that Radar, I zoomed out a little bit so that you can see this entire thing. So Radar has added these set of actions. So now let us say that you face this problem, that you are thinking that to deploy big fire engines, why do we need to alert the fire chief admin at admin fire? Shouldn't he already be knowing there is a fire? This is their sole job. So you feel that this part, that alerting the admin fire before having to deploy big engines, is inexplainable, or say alerting the fire chief at Mesa Fire before deploying rescuers from Mesa Fire is also not required. So you ask Radar, why don't you explain your plan? Now when you click on this button, Radar essentially goes to the backend and tries to see that for the given plan and given your PDDL model and its PDDL model, what are the differences? So the key point to note here is that your model of the world versus the Radar's model of the world might differ in a lot of aspects. For example, it might differ that you think that the name of the fire chief is Sam versus it thinks that the name of the fire chief is Tom, or say you think that you need to have bulldozers to block roads and it thinks that you do not need to have bulldozers to have blocked roads. But these changes are not relevant to the problem of solving are not relevant in achieving your goal. So these changes will not be pointed out. Only those differences in your model changes which are relevant to the present plan will be pointed out. So Radar says that here is an explanation for why I suggested this plan. It is because you do not have this precondition of alerted from when you have to deploy big fire engines. You think that you do not have to alert. Moreover, you also think that you do not have to alert them before deploying the rescuers, but this is not the case. So having taken a look at that, let's say that the commander spends some time and thinks about this and realizes that, come on, I don't believe this has to be true, because deploying big fire engines, we do not have to alert a fire chief admin. It's his only job. He should know. Maybe for deploying rescuers, it's fine. I still want to alert the fire chief admin because that is manpower and you don't know how many people are available and not, versus fire engines are supposed to be available at fire stations. So you tell Radar, I do not respect this, so please realize that you do not have to do this, but please keep this, we might need this. And then you say update models.
Thank you for reviewing my explanations and providing valuable feedback. I have updated both our models in accordance to your wishes.
Now let us do one thing. Let us actually remove alerting the admin fire before actually deploying big engines and ask Radar for its suggestion now. Let's see what Radar says.
Here is a plan that will help you achieve your goal. I am secretly praying you like it.
If you now see, Radar has not suggested that you need to alert the fire chief admin before deploying this, versus alerting the Mesa fire chief is still important before deploying the rescuers. So it has updated its model successfully. With that, I will conclude my demo. There are a few other neat features of this UI, like clicking the buttons here updates the resources back in the database. Also, there is one neat thing where you can say that you can ask for a completely alternative plan. You can tell Radar that so this is the plan I was making and halfway you came and tried to correct me. What about if I ask you, can you give me the best plan that I can get? So you can ask for an optimal plan.
This is the best plan in terms of action costs that achieves the goal.
So Radar will also give you those. Thank you for watching the video. Feel free to view our code and use it for future research purposes.